taking the lead, feeling your heat. Just wanna give you my best. I don't even know your name, but you got me. 'Cause you're old to die. We don't know what happens next, but you got me. 'Cause I'm next in line. You make it look so easy, making me feel so dreamy. Not the one who pays for drinks, but you got me. 'Cause you're old to die. Got me locked in now. Go ahead and take a shot. Do you really want me? Maybe you're just playing. The way you're making it move, yeah, you do it so smooth. Make it all about you. Can have it all if you want. Taking the chance, stuck in my head. Not gonna leave it at that. Taking the lead, feeling your heat. Just wanna give you my best. Taking the chance, stuck in my head. Spot so confused, oh baby. Tasting so sweet, acting so rude. Won't you tell me what I'm supposed to do? Yeah. High and low, in between, acting out, make a scene. Working on our body language, working on our body language. Baby, now tell me exactly how you feel. I'm just trying to keep it real. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside. Tell me exactly what you mean. You mean everything to me. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside. Dance on the beat. I don't want no excuses. You keep me feeling so clueless. I'd like to dream. Keep on dreaming about us, baby. Yeah. Now tell me exactly how you feel. I'm just trying to keep it real. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Real Talk with the Ladies. So I know you guys saw the promo, so you know we're going to do a deep dive on, does your inside match your outside? You know, a lot of us wake up every day, including myself. And sometimes you put on a persona to get you through the day. And then sometimes people actually live in that persona every day. So when a person's getting to know you, they marry you, who are they really with? The persona or the real you? And then what is the process that you use to take a subconscious thought and make it your reality? Not the reality, just your sub-reality. Well, let's get started because you know this is going to be a hot topic. All right, Roz, what's going on, girl? We about to make this real. You ready?
Hey, what's up? Good to see
You ready?
Yes, I'm always ready. I stay ready.
You know, I like that. All right, Sheila, because we about to do this. I don't know, Sheila. They ready for the night?
I hope so. We're going to
I
bring
hope
it tonight.
so too. Because y'all know we bring it in. All right, Toy, don't even act like it. Toy, you ready? Toy, you're still on mute.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Okay,
Let's go. Let's
we
go.
got a special surprise for you. So y'all know Precious will be here, but Precious is being honored tonight by two organizations. So Precious, we look forward to getting your updates. We're really proud of you. But honey, I had to bring in one of the guys from Real Talk. And you know, it's RJ. OMG, RJ. So how do you feel about being on Real Talk with the Ladies?
Oh, I love it. I've always been a ladies' man, so let's get to it.
Uh-oh.
Y'all hear that? He's always been a ladies' man. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, you know we're having a real conversation. And the reason why RJ is here, he wants to give a real perspective from a male and then also from a male looking at a female. because we don't want people to think that it's just women out here giving the false impression of who they may or may not be as you're dating or trying to marry them. So, folks, keep your lid on and be sure to leave us some comments because we're going to tag them in. So let's start it out. Does your inside match your inside? And RJ, I'm going to start with you. What does that mean to you as a man? What does that mean?
So as a man, it means, and what I am is the version of myself that I'm presenting to you as a woman, the true authenticity that I am within, right? And a lot of times, you know, as men in this world, especially Black men, there's a lot of pressures and a lot of biases. So we feel the need, some men feel the need to keep the status quo or uphold this image that may not necessarily be who they are, but who they feel they need to be. And then it does more damage than good because a woman may fall in love with that image of who you are and who you're presenting, but it's just your representative, as we would call it. But then once you get further down the road into the relationship and the layers are peeled back, that woman realizes, oh, you're not exactly this individual who you were portraying to be. And so now how do you react and, you know, deal with that? So it's a tough situation, and it's all about just being authentic and being your true self. And a lot of individuals and adults are not able to do that.
I like that. That's a great response. Okay, so Roz, what does it mean to you? Does your inside match your outside?
Absolutely, it does. Unfortunately, that's a good and a bad thing because my inside is pure, and I'm I'm a loyal person. I like to get to know people for who they are. I try not to judge people up front. And then, you know, they feel that I'm not being as truthful, but I am. I'm very, very much a person that just gives everything up front. And I should pull back and not do that. Because a lot of people can't handle what I present or what I
Are you talking about all that loving and devotion?
all that good and bad.
Is it that baked or fried chicken? Which one are we talking about?
Okay, wait a minute,
Variety. Yeah. So I'm not a representative at all.
I watch our show, so I got a little insight on what y'all be talking about.
That's Toy with the fried chicken, RJ. That's Toy with the fried chicken.
That's right. She ain't cooking it for you. Folks. You gotta get it together.
I can cook. Don't get it twisted. I can cook.
All right, so Toy, what's your perspective on, you know, outside matching the inside? What does that mean to you?
Well, I think it's necessary at times, and then there's times you need to not really portray what you're really thinking out of respect for others and to show compassion and understanding to people, because sometimes, like, you know, there's times where you know, I know women, you've been into the grocery store, right? And a man tried to talk to you, right? And there's a side of you that says, listen, I don't have time for this. And I want to get over here to get my chicken so I can get home, right? But out of respect, you say, hey, my name, thank you. Nice meeting you. Whatever. You're cordial, but you really just want to run. So there's times, and then there's times where people need for you to be more there for them than you yourself. In other words, It's not about me. This is about this person right now. So I have to put my needs and my desires to the side, even though I'm being my authentic self. But right now, I can't think about Toy right now. I have to think about them. And sometimes I don't feel like doing that, but I'm not going to tell them that out of respect, because sometimes we have to be selfless to serve others. So there are times I believe that's a good perspective. Yeah, I always think that you should be your authentic self. However, there are times that you need to pull away from being your authentic self to serve others.
And that's one of the questions further down. Okay, so Sheila, what's your thought on that? Does your inside match your outside?
Yeah, I try to be my authentic self because it honestly takes too much energy to be other people. But as a few of us have said, that sometimes the situation may call for you not to show your inside on the outside. As Roz mentioned, sometimes people take your kindness for vulnerability or you being naive and think that they can get over on you. So you have to kind of show them another side, not in a fake way, but just to let them know that only special people can get my true authentic self. Not that I'm being fake, because it takes too much energy, but it depends on the situation and the person. But overall, you get who I am, good and the bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think that's a great perspective. I think people always get me. It takes too much energy for me not to be me. And
Right.
sometimes hanging out with my peeps, RJ, I hang out with RJ. We won't get onto that. My guys who I hang out with, my peeps, they often tell me, well, Christine, you know, you're a lot. And what people don't understand, there's a difference between an imposter and a persona, which is two different things. And we'll talk about that. Christine is the one that runs my businesses. She's that, you know, couture popping and locking chick. That's who she is. Chris is the person at home taking care of her child. Chris is at home taking care of her man. I don't bring Christine home because Christine be too much power up in the house. And if I was with, because RJ and them tell me I'm a lot, and it's like being like with a man in a dress, and I know that. I hear that a lot. But guess what? The man in the dress can't come home because the man in the dress is not going to work out with the man. So you can't, and that's what people, it's one thing to create a persona, but it's one thing to live in a false reality. And that's what we're going to talk about. Okay, so look, you know, people be coming in hot and ready with us. So Toy, that was deep. She's still, that's her fan club, by the way. Go Realer is Toy's fan club. We're gonna keep that real. And that's right. It's levels to authenticity.
That's right.
I just want to make sure everybody understand that, you know, Toy has a fan club and it's the Realer guy. He just comes in hot and heavy all the time about, oh, it's right. All right, so have you ever projected something you knew was false? And then what was the situation as to why you created that? So, Roz, I'm starting with you because you told me not to start with you. So I wouldn't be a real girlfriend if I didn't start with you. Because
Okay, I'll be the alpha and omega here.
okay, so I mean, have you ever projected something you knew was false? And was it due to a situation? You know, how, no, you never created a false? Okay, I'm proud of you. Okay. Okay, what about you, Toy? Have you created a false?
Well, you know, there are times when I would say that I had to because it wasn't the time. So say if you have a friend and there's an event going on, but you have a problem with your friend that needs to be resolved, right? Mm-hmm. And when you go to this event, you haven't had time to sit with that friend, right? And so I have to portray a side of me because I'm a very honest person and I don't do mess. So I had a friend that I needed to talk to them, but we had to go to this event together. But I had some issues with them because of something that they did.
Right.
But in the people would have never known at the event. It was as if nothing ever happened. Why? Right. It's not the time nor the place. Was I feel like I'm faking? No, it's not everybody's job to be in our business. And I don't like to vomit my stuff on other people. So I think it's, you know, respectful.
So you know what, Toy, that's situational. And that's understandable. I remember my parents, when they were living, they went to a function and I happened to be there with them. And this woman came up and kissed my father in the lips, like like she just like you licking them up lips, not like a peck. And my mom was standing there. She's such a good woman, a good person. She didn't say one word. But let's be clear, when we got in that car, though, okay, she rips it up. She said, Christine, I need you to. Yes, ma'am. I'm in the back seat. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Heard every word though.
She tore it up.
Right.
And then she got home and tore it up in the bedroom even more. But the point is, after that woman kissed him, you would not have known that was burning my mother's britches. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we're trying to say is if it's situational, that's understandable. But if you just acting a zip damn fool on a regular basis, trying to pretend to be Beyonce or LL, and you know you're not that person. And we're gonna get into y'all with these social media personalities. But the thing is, stop. Right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so Sheila, what about you? Have you ever projected something you knew was false? And it could have been a situation.
Yeah, it was situational. I projected myself as sometimes being the tough lady, especially at work. Everybody know that I'm so not that person in real life, but when I have to be, I will. So I would say that that's kind of situational in a false scenario. It takes a lot of energy, like I said, to be somebody else. But I have had to do that. And in another scenario, like Toy said, when I was married, you don't want everybody in your business. So you go out as a couple, you put on that facade. It's
Right.
not fake, you take it home. So I would say that at my core, I don't think that I project anything that's false, but there are times when I have to do it in situations just to either get something done, get somebody off of me, or deal with a situation later when I couldn't address it at that moment. So.
Hey,
All right, so
Sheila,
I just want to be clear, y'all.
that's
Sheila
that-
nice and Toy is nice, but they will cut you. I just want y'all to be clear. Y'all, they don't. I know the truth about them too. But they'll cut you. Don't come sideways. Now, Raj, you might have a little bit of a chance. This much, okay? And with me, I don't. My attitude. I don't even care enough. Just whatever. I'm gonna make a phone call. I'm gonna make a phone call. I'm gonna put hands on you. So RJ, you might be one of the people I call though. So RJ, what's up with you? I mean, have you ever projected something you knew that was false to a woman and tell the truth?
Well, situationally, absolutely. I think we all have been put in environments and situations that may be a little uncomfortable. So you have to put off a not so authentic facade to remove yourself from the situation or to calm the situation, right? So, and that's more true. I think it's equally true for men and women. Going back to the grocery store analogy that Ms. Toy said, I mean, I see it all the time. Men are definitely on ladies in the grocery store. A lot of women are just kind of like, hey, okay, man, I'm just trying to get out this checkout line and get home, right? But on the flip side of that, there are a lot of aggressive women, and especially in our area. Let's be clear. So sometimes you have to tell some people what they need to hear to get yourself out of that situation. So situationally, absolutely.
Yep, I agree.
Could I share with you? It was something, Christine, that you said that I'm a very honest person, but I'm always respectful. I think I think that there's never reason for you to disrespect anybody. I don't even care.
Exactly.
If there's never reason to disrespect anybody. However, there is a time where you have to correct somebody in the most respectful way. So there was this man who, I don't know where he must lived in my area, but it seemed like every store in my area that I went into, there he was. And he kept asking me out. And I told him I was married. He would say, well, I'm married too, right? And so then I said, well, I'm happily married, right? So then another time he acted like it's the first time he's seeing me again. And he does this several times. And so one day I just got fed up. I couldn't do this thing with him anymore.
Right.
So he runs up behind me in the grocery store aisle and he said, man, you're just so beautiful. And I would just love to take you. I said, you've said that to me several times. I said, and I told you I was married. He was like, well, I'm married too, but marriage, it has its ups and its downs. I said, well, I'm in my uptime. I said, but here's what I want to say to you. I feel sorry for your wife. He said, oh, don't be that way. And I said, no, I am. Because I said, you're wrong and you're out of line. I said, and I hurt for her. My heart aches for her, knowing that you're walking in these aisles looking for women to take out. And he was like, don't be like that. I said, and he never came back up to me again after that. So sometimes you have to stop people in the most respectful way and correct them.
100%.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Toy, if he had to pick somebody, he'd pick somebody that was high class. That's for sure. Ladies and gentlemen, we get back. The question I'm going to ask you is that honesty. See, when you are feeling ugly inside and you're angry or you have fears or you don't think you're pretty, what are you truly projecting? When we get back, we're going to ask everybody that, because that's real talk. And for some of us, it's not short term. It's been something that you've been carrying for years or since your past relationship or the relationships that have continued since the one that started that anxiety that lives inside of you. And that's what we're going to talk about. That might take us a minute. So we're going to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. So, guys, this next question is 100% based on the last week's podcast with Galen. So, Galen talked about I meet no one but me. And what people didn't understand is I had an epiphany during that podcast with him when he says, I meet no one but me. You know what that means? That means that the person that you're dating or the person you're married to is you. It is the dominant personality or thing that you're projecting. So if you're consistently projecting, I don't know, negative energy, fears, anger, frustration, mistrust, then that's what you're going to attract that. And I say that often because I don't think people realize that what you're projecting could be your subconscious. So here's the example. You looking like $1 million, but inside you don't like yourself, right? And so do you think your subconscious is projecting, or do you think your conscious? Your conscious is the diva. The subconscious is nobody likes me. I don't think I'm pretty. So therefore, what are you attracting? So that's the question I'm going to ask, because if you did not watch that podcast last week, I meet no one but me, I'm going to tell you right now, I done watched it 5 times. I think a lot of them, half of them views is me on YouTube. I'm watching on YouTube. It's me, because I had to go back and take notes, because that was real talk. Okay. So here we go. So I'm not going to start with you, Raj. You don't have to do that. Look like don't start with me. Okay. Everybody got 2 minutes. So think about what you're going to say. You got 2 minutes. Toy, hit me. What's your thoughts on that? Like, are you projecting your subconscious or your conscious? Are they both the same? Was it ever a point where they weren't the same and you had to get them both leveled up? You had to level them up?
Well, I believe that whenever you are suffering with any type of lack within your self-worth and self-value, you're going to portray something different inside of you. There was a time I suffered with low self-esteem and low self-confidence. And you would have never known on the outside, because I used to model. I was on the runway. You couldn't tell me nothing. But when it came to relationships and really loving me and valuing me, it was not at the level that it needed to be. So I allowed certain things in my life that I shouldn't have allowed. I was in relationships that I probably shouldn't have been in, all because I did not understand my self-worth. So yeah, I modeled, I can walk the runway like anybody, right? You know, I can walk the runway, but however, there was someone that was lacking inside of me, and I had to discover myself. Now you can't tell me nothing, right? I love myself now that outside now is matching that inside, you know, loving myself and also loving others. Because when you also have low self-esteem, you also have a dislike for other people who have stuff that you don't have. Like,
okay.
If another woman walks in the room, you feel,
right,
you know, some kind of way because you don't feel you measure up. And now she becomes the problem. And all she did was walk in the room.
Yeah.
And so, and it should, and you're so right. It should never be that way. And I think a lot of people, when they see people who are well put together, they just assume you have no problems.
Absolutely.
Like you're hot like fire. So the thing is, RJ, what about you as a man looking at a woman? Do you see, like, when you see a woman, do you feel the subconscious or do you feel the conscious?
Well, I think everything kind of correlates to energy, right? So we all give off a certain energy. Sometimes it's positive energy, sometimes it's reclusive energy, sometimes it's confident energy, sometimes it's shy energy. So when looking at a woman, you can kind of tell by the way that woman may be carrying herself, her facial expressions, her mood, her vibe, her body language, because body language dictates a lot of things about an individual if you pay attention to it, whether someone's confident. Can they look you in the eyes when you're having a conversation, or are they constantly looking away or looking down? You know, so for me, you know, it's about you're feeling that energy from a woman to be able to dictate whether or not it's, you know, what is she outpouring to me? You know, she's a confident, successful woman, or a shy, reclusive, nervous, uncertain woman. And we all carry both good and bad energy. And it can be as simple as an argument or a disagreement with a family member, a loved one, a spouse, who knows, right? But you have to do your best, as I tell everyone, especially my children, your goal each and every day is to be the best version of yourself and put your best foot forward no matter what, and give off positive energy and positive vibes.
I love that. So one of your co-hosts did chime in. It's just in comments.
Oh, Eric, there we go.
Okay.
Here we go.
Oh Lord,
Eric,
I got Eric. What's good?
he trying to be on the show, Chris.
Eric, we got to be on the show. So Eric says, if you're attracting busters, then perhaps you are portraying a woman who lacks respect for herself. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I 100% believe in that, because there was a time when me growing up, people called me ugly every day, called me Casper, said I had big lips, just teased me so bad that I was so insecure that my father asked me, we didn't go to basement. We redid the whole basement. Are you ever bringing somebody home? Is something wrong? You need to talk. And so, no, but see, I focused in what I thought I was great at, which was academics. So then I took that to college, and I went there with the attitude, which I wasn't pretty. You know, I was too light and I had big lips and nobody thought I was pretty. So the first day I walked past Medgar Evers Hall, I'll never forget this. It was during the summer. The boy said, "Hey, Redbone," and I didn't know they was talking to me. I kept walking, and the boy said, "Hey, Redbone, we talking to you. What's up, Redbone?" I turned around, walked over to the stoop, and punched him in the face. And I said, "You don't call me out of my name." I don't know why I picked that moment to stand up for myself. I picked that moment. Something happened. But let me explain to you what happened. He said, "No, little mama, we're trying to tell you cute." And then he hugged me. And I think that was God's way of telling me, you can't keep making yourself feel like this. I've been trying to tell you. Your father told you you're not an ugly duckling, you're a beautiful swan. But my father told me it was different than a man who was a stranger. And let me tell you something, from that point on, them cues it was some cues that was sitting on that porch, by the way. And from that point on, them cues, and still to this day, the cues watch out for baby girl. And I'm going to tell you right now, if it wasn't for them, I don't think I would have transformed into the swan.
Well, that's the
I know that I didn't, because I was ugly all that time. So what I'm saying is, folks, that's what we're talking about, because I was attracting some people who was just not right for me because I wasn't feeling right about me.
But I kind of disagree with Eric's comment to a degree. People don't shoot their shot. Just because a buster feels like he can punch above his weight don't mean that my self-esteem is low. That just means they probably think I'm a nice person. But to your point, there are different levels of where sometimes your self-esteem can be challenged. Similar to you, Chris, you know, growing up, I was real skinny. I went to school with a whole bunch of white girls that had long blonde hair. And my mother's biracial. So here I come. I'm the darkest one in my family thinking, what's wrong with me? Why didn't I get the silky hair that my sister has or the curly hair that my brother has? Right. And I'm going to school with all these rich, I hate to say it, I love everybody, but I'm being honest, rich white people. So that attacked me. So I went to book smarts too. But as I got older, I realized, wait, I have something that's important. I'm a valuable person. But then I get a divorce and then I go back down into my rut and then have to dig myself back out and constantly reset myself to say, you are loved. You are somebody. If someone doesn't want me, that's their loss, not mine. Not being braggadocious, but that's kind of the energy that I want to put out. Right. To Arthur's point, I can put on name brand stuff and look hot, but if I'm feeling bad on the inside, I think someone's going to feel that. Mm-hmm. But I can put on a baseball cap, put my sneakers on and not have my hair done and walk out and attract so many people because my energy is what's attracting them. Not
is everything. Absolutely.
And so your energy is a reflection of what you feel on the inside, and that's what people need to understand. So Roz, what's up with you? Are you tossing them back? What you doing? What's happening?
You know, I have a little.
I'm not trying to put your business in the street, Roz, but I just want to say over the past couple of days, my girl been tossing them back. But I won't get into that right now.
We all know why. We all know why.
We all know why.
Coming up, right?
I've been reading all your little text messages. I've been going through them all like, okay.
No, so I have a little bit of a different experience in that I grew up with all, 5 older brothers and a dad, my mom. And people referred to me, like you were the red bone, Chris. I was the good hair girl, and so I had to deal with that. I had to deal with girls cutting my hair off at school and trying to fight me on the regular. But I had to change my energy to match them in a way that they would be receptive towards me, right? So even in my adult life, I've had to deal with that, and people being jealous or biased for whatever reason, and there are many. But at the end of the day, I still try to up, uplift, encourage, and be a really good person, be mindful of other people, and even though I have my own challenges, right? The people who know me know, and if you don't, ask me and I'll tell you. But you don't even have to ask because they're visible. But it makes me have to be very strong and very much secure in my own being, in my own body, my own shell, because unlike most people, some people have things that they deal with that you can't see. Mine are visible.
Ross,
So
don't do it. You know me and Sheila will start crying. Don't make us cry,
no,
Ross.
it's not about a tear. Don't
Ross.
shed a tear. It's all good. I'm
It's
just
all
being
good?
transparent.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, like
get
if I had to
emotional.
pull back someone else's onion, is it rotten inside or is it can I eat it?
Right.
Or is it toxic? So for me, I try to bring the real Roz every single time. And some people can handle it and some people can't. And at the end of the day, I'm okay because I'm a child of God. I trust in his word and what he has for me, and what he doesn't, he'll show me because I discern easily.
And I'm telling y'all right now, he been showing it out for Roz. Now listen, Gorilla. He said, I love the story. Is there anything about Toy? I mean, what? We ain't got
Which
nothing to say about
story?
Toy,
Which story, Gorilla? Which one?
I think he was talking
That
about your story,
came right
Christine.
after my story. I was just
Oh,
waiting
okay.
on him sitting there about Toy, because he likes,
You like the
talking
Red
about Toy
Bone
all the
story?
time.
Let me. I want
Yeah,
to say. I
exactly.
want to say one thing real quick while we're
Yes.
on this, and I love it what everyone said, and it's something my grandfather taught me when I was a freshman in college. Through high, and everyone that knows me know I don't lack confidence ever, right? But when I got to college, I was the man in high school. I felt I had to keep up that same persona per se, and a lot of people talk trash, said I was conceited. So I went to my grandfather, who's a pastor. I said, Granddaddy, I don't understand. You raised me right. My parents raised me right. Why are people saying so many negative things? And what he told me at 17 has stuck with me to now. He said, grandson, when they stop talking about you, then you get concerned about it, right? Because people will always talk about you if you're doing something great, you have something great, and you're something about you that they don't have, that they're envious of. And so I just want people to understand that it's okay because people are going to have something to say no matter how great you are. But just be authentically you always, and everything will be great.
Oh, that's
Oh,
good,
I love
RJ.
that. RJ, don't be trying to, let me see if RJ got some shout outs after that.
I need to take notes. Can you repeat that?
He said, I should have known Gorilla would say this because of Toy. I love all the stories. Really, your fan club is out here. And he also said, and all the women are fine on the show. We all know that. Gorilla,
Thank you.
please stop. I mean, honestly. Okay, so folks, this one right here I like. At what time did you realize what a person was communicating did not line up with what they were representing in a visual, confident, spoken, or not spoken? So since Roz, you always think I'm picking on people, I'm gonna pick on me first.
Okay.
There was this guy who gave everybody the impression that he was all that in a bucket of fried chicken. Obviously, by the way, y'all, I don't even eat fried chicken, but I talk about it a lot, don't I? Maybe subconsciously, I want some fried chicken.
Toy got to make us some chicken. That's what that's about.
Toy, we're saying we need fried chicken.
We got to get this fried. We got to get this chicken, Miss Toy. I mean,
I
I'm hearing
know.
so much about it.
RJ,
Put our money where the mouth is,
don't
RJ,
forget.
right?
Look,
RJ can have some chicken. He can have some chicken.
Thank you, Sheila. Thank you.
Oh my
Goodness
God.
grief.
As you see, she was like, no, RJ can come to our chicken dinner. RJ, this is for the ladies. Y'all can our own chicken dinners over there.
I'll bring the liquor. I mean, what I need to do.
Oh,
He can get a carry out.
Cedric, Eric, all of
She
y'all
said he could
can
She said he could get a carry out.
get a carry out. We'll meet you at the door.
Or hang with my husband in the basement. He gonna be probably watching the sports.
There it is.
Okay,
There
you can
it
be
is.
down there with him.
There it is.
So you know what? It was a guy who everybody knew who projected this image, right? But the unfortunate part was this: he was not that at all. So when I got a chance to get to know him, it was so many things that just started pouring out that it became too much for me, and I couldn't manage it because the reality of it is, you had 5 baby mamas. Yes, you had a good job, but you was really living paycheck to paycheck, even though you was driving this Porsche. and living in this nice house, but when you got in the house, it was only furniture and 2 rooms. So you was really living this farce, going to church, like, you know, tithes and offerings, like you Big Daddy. All of this was happening. It was magical. And I still run into this person today, and I would never give his name out ever. But the thing is, I know that's why he's single to this day. He looks so good on paper, but when you really get to know him, he's not. Everything was about him was false. Financially, he's not together. The business that he has, it's like a game of cards. If one card falls, that's the end of the story, right? So to me, just be yourself. You know, when people meet me, I tell them right off the book, this is it. Love it or leave it. I'm like that show, listed or not listed, or whatever, listed or don't listed or whatever. That's me.
You can love me or hate me, but you will respect
right.
me.
I mean, RJ, when we was out over at Petty Cash, shout out to Petty Cash and Rufus.
Oh boy. Shout out to Rufus.
Shout out to Rufus. And when we was at Petty Cash, that man was going in. Wasn't he going in?
Oh my goodness gracious. Oh man.
And RJ, what did you tell him, RJ?
I said, bro, you're not ready for this, man. This different. She different. She ain't what you used to. Oh, I can handle it. No, you can't, sir.
You kept doing a shout out on him. You said you can handle it. RJ was like, no, you can't. I'm telling you, no,
hey,
you
listen,
can't.
it's my job to keep it real and try to educate men and women out here in this world, but some people just got to bump their head. That is what it is.
And that's what he did. So, folks, I mean, at what point did you meet somebody, whether it was in a relationship or just a casual relationship, and you was like, I'm out.
So this,
Rob, I'm not going to start with you. I'm going to go with Toy. I just wanted to say that.
So this was a female, was supposed to be a female, a potential friend. And so my husband, I've been hard-headed earlier in my days. We've been married for 27 years, but in the first 10 years, I was hard-headed. So my husband would tell me about somebody, because men have that gifting where they can identify someone, a gift that God gave them, right?
I'm on the approval list, by the way. So no, I'm sorry.
So I was hanging with this young lady for a minute. She had came to me, wanted me to teach her some things or whatever. And so this was the first time she had came over and she met my husband. So when we had just came in from going out or something, and we came in the house and I introduced my husband. He was sitting on the couch watching sports. And I said, hey, babe, this is such and such. And he was like, oh, okay, nice to meet you. Then he took the remote control, turned off the TV, got up and went to the room. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, oh, maybe he just gave us some space, right? And so he was there for about an hour, and then she left. And then my husband hears the door close, and he comes out. He said, is your guest left? Did she leave? I said, yeah. And he was like, I need to talk to you about her. I said, what? I said, don't, babe. I said, come on now. He said, are you going to listen, or are you going to make the same mistake before? Because he told me about somebody before, and I bumped my head, right? And so this time I told myself I'm going to start listening, right? He said, let me tell you what type of woman she is.
Right.
If I was that type of man, that she would try to have me in your bed.
1,000%.
What? There? What? How did you get that out of 15 seconds?
We get it. It's the energy. It's the energy that
he knew it.
RJ, the energy.
And so I'm like, because he's been on spot every time, I said, it's time to keep my eyes closed. And surely he was right. This girl stole stuff from me. I found out stuff in the streets. I started getting calls saying, hey, your girl. And it was just, and I had to cut ties with this young lady. And I was so sad because, I'm a girlfriend's girlfriend. And I'm like, it just wasn't a good fit. And so she portrayed something though. If you would have seen her, because she was in the same room where I was in the modeling fashion world and things of that sort. And she portrayed herself a certain way. But when I got to know her, when I opened that book, it was a whole nother story. Mm-hmm. And I learned a lesson. So I bring everybody to my husband.
Those books will reveal the truth. And folks, will be right back after this commercial, because now we get ready to get down to the nitty gritty when we get back. It's called the evolution. How did you make that change to who you are today? And folks, everybody's struggle ain't the same. All I got to say is a lot of therapists made a lot of money off of me. We'll be right back in a minute.
I gotta tell you something I could do. I could be running around chasing you, but I won't. Cause I got better things to do. Rather spend my precious time chasing somebody who loves me too. If I got $1 for every time you slept. But what's standing in my way? He doesn't mind at all. He want my juice like that. He does whatever what he feels for nobody but himself. No, yeah. He doesn't mind at all. He want my juice like that. He does whatever what he feels for nobody but himself. No, yeah. So I pull myself together. Give myself the pressure. I don't know what to do with it. Should I let him go, go? I don't know what to do with it. Should I let him go, go? I fall for his eyes when he's staring into mine. Know he's bad for me. So what's standing in my way? When he's out of my league, I feel insecure, but I hope this is real, yeah. He doesn't mind at all. He want my juice like that. He does whatever what he feels for nobody but himself. No, yeah.
Okay, I like all the commercials because I create them. I think they're all hot, but that's not the point.
I really like that
folks,
last
if
one.
you like us, what you say, RJ?
I really like that last one. That was dope.
I know because you were in it. Stop it. So, folks, if you like what you're seeing, be sure to like and share it. We would love to have everyone's comments. Like Anissa, thank you, Anissa, for your support. She watches every podcast, and we appreciate that. She says, yes, Roz, what is for you is for you. Folks, I'm going to tell you right now, what is for you, but what are you projecting that you should have? That is the question. What are you projecting what you should have? So let me ask you guys a question. Why do you think people publicly pretend to be something they are not privately? Why do you think people do that? So Sheila, I'll start with you. Why do you think people do that? Do they do it because they don't know how to be vulnerable? They're afraid that you won't really like them?
That's
I
probably.
mean, I'm going to say this for real. This is just one little, I know a girlfriend right now. Her boyfriend has never seen her without her weave.
Oh my goodness.
Ever. Like, did nada. I just want to be clear. We laugh about it. One time she said it was hot and heavy. He pulled the wig off. She said she was trying to get it and throw it back on before he realized it was, I don't know what's happening, but I'm just throwing it out there. Okay, I ain't going to say her name because she watching. Hey, girl.
Wow. Well, I hope if her man watching, he thinking like, wait a minute, was that?
No. Let me tell you something. He said, I will pay to have your real hair done. And then if you don't like it, then I will pay to have your hair redone again. She says, no one has actually seen her hair but me and like a few other people in like 20 years.
That's one type of insecurity, but let's move on.
Yeah, you stole my answer, RJ. I think it's that insecurity thing that a lot of people struggle with, whether they want to admit it or not. Yeah. And it seems like it's getting worse and worse, and it's getting younger. People are getting younger and younger doing that. They feel like, especially with social media and these images that they see on screen, on TikTok, on all that they have to live up to this standard. And it's not necessarily who they are inside. So they're not being their, again, this is the buzzword for tonight, their authentic self. I always say, be who you are. People are going to like you. If you're afraid that they're going to not like who you are, then I think there's some personal things that you want to work out within yourself to try and figure out why is it that way, or is that what you're projecting on yourself? Because when you, as Roz mentioned, when you peel back that onion, we can still see you. we can still see you. So it's better to just show that yourself up front so we won't have to worry about that in the back end.
Okay, so then the question you all have to ask yourself is, if someone really met the real you, would they love you, like you, pity you, or run from you?
They
So
would
I'm gonna
love
start with
you.
you. Which
I'm
one
sorry.
would it be? Sheila, look at Sheila did a full shout out. Okay, what's going on, Toy? Which one would it be? Toy, why is your audio out?
Is she muted in the backstage?
Yeah, check the backstage. Look at the bottom,
She's
Toy.
not. Toy's not, she's not muted on my end.
Okay.
Okay, so Toy, do me a favor, sign out and just sign right back in and reset your audio for me, okay? Okay, so Roz, now I gotta go to you.
Before we go there, I gotta interject on that last point
Right.
real quick.
Go
I
ahead.
think to piggyback off of what Sheila said, we talk about this current climate of the world with social media. For so many people, it's about the likes, the retweets, the comments, and clout is the new currency for a lot of people. So they feel that if they give off a certain, cachet or that's gonna make people like or love them.
But now you messing up my next question, which is
All right,
social media.
I digress.
Don't be all up on my next question, okay?
I didn't know.
Fair. Okay, because that's what we're about. Okay, Toy.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh yeah, 100%. Okay, so Toy, so when people meet you, do they love you, like you, pity you, or run from you?
They adore me. Adore me.
I love it.
Yes.
Adore me. I'm a servant. Listen, first of all, I feel that I'm a loving. I go out of my way to love on people. I love to serve. I love people. I'm a people person. Sheila knows that. I'm very much. My house is the house that everybody comes to, and they never want to leave. Why? Because the love that is shown in this house, people don't like to leave. So I don't.
It's not just your house. I barely wanted to leave the boat. I'm just gonna be real.
Wait to come get my carry out and hang out with the husband.
Look, RJ want his carry out. No, you want to dine in for that, RJ. That's
RJ,
dine
don't
in
try to
only.
squeeze in on
I'm
Real
hanging
Talk
out with the
Radio.
husband though. We're gonna be watching the football game.
That's
Don't
right.
try to squeeze
That's
in.
dine in only, RJ
Doing
over
that
there.
Wait a minute, RJ. Is RJ here in Michigan?
Yes,
Yes.
I am.
Yes.
Yes,
RJ, you need to come and speak on my panel on my event, November 5th. It's called Father Teach Me How to Cook and Serve My Man.
Whatever you need from me.
Okay,
I'm
I'll
here
send you,
to help.
RJ, I'll send you the promo in Messenger so you can see it. And then
Yeah.
you can reach out to Toy. Okay, so Roz, when people meet you, do they love you, like you, pity you, or run from you? Which one is it?
I don't know.
Are you
said what?
speaking up? Are you whispering?
I don't know what they do. I can only speak on what I know. So
No, from your perspective.
my
what do
perspective
people do?
is most people have to get to know me because
Okay.
they're judgmental. I mean, so yeah,
Okay, that's your answer?
but I'm sticking with it.
Okay. All right,
What's
Sheila,
your
what's your answer? Sheila,
I
do they
can
love
say
you, like
I'm
you?
not as adorable as Toy. I try to be, but her personality is a little bit more.
You are adorable, Sheila.
But when
Cut it
people
out.
do meet me, most of the time they adore me or they love me. But there are some that because they look at the outside and they think, oh, here's this in their mind beautiful woman. She must be stuck up this and that, and I have to bring them down. And then once I bring them down, take that energy away, then they go, oh,
And you have to bring you down.
they're not bringing me down. I'm who I am, but I'm just saying I have to kind of break through some of that energy or their own issues. But for the most part, I would say I'm not to be, that I'm adorable.
So for me, it's to love me. To know me is
Love
to
you?
really love me. So
Yeah.
I love that. RJ, what about you?
It's both. It's two of them. Some people
Okay.
love me. Some people run from me because it's just. I've been told since college that I'm intimidating. So, and that's just my.
I don't know why. I've been around you.
Yeah, but see, we're business partners, so it's a different cachet there. You know what I'm saying?
I've
Is
been
that
around
what it
you.
is?
I wasn't intimidated. I don't think. I'm just kidding.
But no, I mean, but some people love me, some people dislike me, but everyone respects me. I don't care. I've never lived life concerned about other people's perception of me. And I think more people need to adopt that mentality because you have one life to live and one chance to live it. And just as long as you're your authentic, true self, no one else is paying your bills and taking care of you. So why are you concerned about popular opinion? But a lot of people get caught up in that.
That's true.
It's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. And I think that also ties into some levels of insecurity when you're so concerned about pleasing others and what other people have to say. So you're living your life in an image that is not truly who you are.
And so that's it right there, folks. So real talk, the person you see today, which is this Christine, it took years and I paid a lot of therapists a whole bunch of dollars. You know why? Because my mental game was messing with me. Mentally, I don't care what everybody else saw. I didn't believe it up in here, which means my subconscious was like feeling really weird and I couldn't manage it. So what I did is I had to go sit down with somebody to help me get my real game on up here. And then now, hey, I walk out with theme music. What's up? Like, I don't even, when I walk into places, I don't even see nobody because I'm feeling like it's like a smoke machine on me, a wind machine. It's like a full video
Yes, it
happening
does, ladies and
when I'm
gentlemen.
walking in. You know what I'm saying? And then boom. So all I got to say is sometimes we got to be real with ourselves. It didn't take anyone telling me that my self-esteem was low, that I didn't believe in myself, but it was reflected because I wasn't saying what I was saying wasn't matching up. You get what I'm saying? And you have to be real with yourself sometimes and just shut it down and walk away. So the thing is, if you go through multiple bad relationships, you're scarred by that. You can't be with anybody for any number of years and not be scarred.
That's
Sit
right.
down somewhere in a corner. I'm gonna tell you right now, I got that women's, and this is not a Christian thing, so I don't want anybody to get upset because I done been to the Pentecostals, the Catholics. I was engaged to a Catholic, so I'm just gonna keep it real. I done been with the AMEers, the Baptists, the non-denominationals. I done been with everybody. But this woman gave me a woman's devotional Bible at church. I was going to church. She handed it to me and said, God told me to give this to you. And it was really nice. It's pink and it has like women's stuff in it. I read it and everything. And I really did read it. And let me tell you something. Those little quotes of the day is what helped me. It was the quotes of the day. It wasn't really the word. It was the quote within the word that was in there to help me. So folks, this is real talk. Stop waiting for somebody to tell you that you're beautiful. If you don't think it yourself, then you need to move on and get some help. Now we about to get down to the nitty gritty. Do you think people are afraid to live the real them? Do you think people are compensating? Y'all, and I need y'all to do a shout out right now. Don't call their name out, but look right in the camera and tell that person, you know who you are.
No, you are.
What?
You are.
It is
Y'all all
right.
know who you are. These are facts. We see
So
you on
are
social
they-
media every day. portraying
Every
who
day.
you are. Every day. Got people thinking you living a lavish life of luxury when you're living in your mama basement. But anyway,
Look, that's this one right
That's
here.
right.
Do you think social media has basically exasperated people creating these false personas and living in a false reality? And I say that
Absolutely.
only because of what he just said. So the thing is, folks, there are so many people who had, you know how you can play with the camera and make yourself look
Filters.
different, your body look
Okay.
different.
Yeah.
I kid you not, a male friend of mine. So first of all, I like having so many male friends. I'm not gonna play with you because the stories I get are just stupid. I live in two different worlds. I live in my gal pal world, and then I live with my boys. And when I'm with them, it just blows my mind. This woman online, I kid you not, I went to her social media. She was so made up. The body was contoured. I don't know what app she got, but honey, them apps had her looking like if I say Jessica Rabbit is telling my age, but y'all need to look up Jessica
Mhm.
Rabbit. It
Oh,
had
yeah.
her looking like Jessica Rabbit, which would be our current Kim Kardashian, which would be, you know, okay, we can go on and on. And when she showed up to meet him in real life,
She looked like Freddie
he
Jackson.
walked past her. He walked past her. Not once, but 5 times.
I've had
That's
that
what I
happen.
mean.
Oh, wait. I gotta tell the story real quick. Back in the day,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
about to tell my age. Black Planet days, right? Y'all remember Black Planet? Anybody?
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
So I was on Black Planet many years ago, and there was a young lady in DC, and I'm communicating with her, saying, you know, wow, she's sending me all these pictures. You look like Tracy
Well,
Edmonds.
folks, Black Planet was before Black people meet. Go.
So
Right.
Black Planet is what MySpace became. But so for the
Right.
people that don't
Okay.
know,
You really
So-
telling your age now,
I
RJ.
am, but I don't look it. That's all that
I
matters.
know.
So I'm interacting with her. She's sending me all these pictures. She's looking like Tracy Edmonds, babyface first wife. And I'm
Right.
like, listen, if you fly all the way to Detroit and you don't look like these pictures, you will get left at the airport. So at that time, you know, this is pre 9/11, so you can walk all the way to the gate at Detroit
Right.
Metro. 2 of my guys, I sent them the picture, and I said, "Hey, let me know if she get off that plane. I'm waiting 3 gates back." She never got off the plane, but I seen she described what she was wearing, and I saw her, and she looked, just to say she did not fit the bill. So I left, and she's calling me, and I said, "Hey, you thought I was joking. I told you if you weren't who you pretended to be, you're gonna get left behind." And the moral of the story is that so many people pretend to be someone that they're not, whether it's using other people's pictures and everything like that. It's just like, just be comfortable in who you are. Don't get caught up in this social media world of, I gotta be this type of way, or this type of body, or this type of look, or this type of shade. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
People like what they like, RJ. That's a funny story. So be who you are, because there's somebody out there for you. It takes too much energy. And what happens when you, like you said, when the rubber meets the road? It's like you eventually gonna want to meet that person.
You gotta meet in person. So what you gonna think?
Right.
I'm just gonna like your personality? No, I'm
Right. Oh, he knows my keyboarding. No. Like
I
you
had
said,
this,
men are visual. So you got
They
why
are.
misrepresent
They are.
yourself?
I had this beautiful young lady say this to me. I used to work with her, and she, when I first met her, I could tell she had something. Whenever you're facing a woman, if she's not healed of past traumas, low self-esteem, low self-confidence, you're about to deal with that, okay?
Yeah.
And so I could tell she had something against me, and I knew it had nothing to do with me because I did nothing to her. And so one day, because I kept loving on her and everything, she started, softening up to me. And, and I said to her, she said, "I need to talk to you. I have this problem." And I said, "Well, what is it?" She said, "I never told anybody this, but I hate every woman that either looks better than me or has more than me." She said, "I don't even have to know her. I could be in the store and she walks in. If she has a better body than me, her hair looks better than me, I automatically hate her." Now, the first thing I said to her was, "I want to commend you, because the fact that you've recognized that," and so many women feel that way, but would never say it out their mouth. I said, "So first of all, I want to commend you for recognizing that that is a problem." I said, "Now, second, you got to get some help, because here's the thing. For the rest of your life, there's going to always be somebody prettier, smaller, more fit, they have more money, better hair, better money, and all types of stuff." I said, "You're driving yourself crazy. You have to really celebrate yourself." When it comes to women, I've had women hate me just because I've entered the room, and I understand that it has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with the lack that is there in them. And so we have to, and when you see that and experience that, as women, we should have compassion towards them, because we've all had a time when we dealt with low self-esteem and low self-confidence.
Right.
And so I don't take it personal. I take that opportunity to pour love on that person, even if they're kind of nasty.
Chris, how many times will we compliment women when we're out, just to make sure?
We do, and I was gonna say that, Sheila. When me and Sheila are, we always compliment, but one thing for sure, and this is the one thing I tell people about girlfriends. When me and Sheila are out, and and I'm gonna tell you, I jokingly say this, but it's for real. I feel like sometimes I should get a T-shirt to say Sheila Security.
No,
because men they automatically flock to her. But guess what? I'm a real girlfriend. And I just be like, I sit back like, what's up? Which one? What's up? What we doing? Which one we thinking? And I like, because I can't stand Sheila. She always getting all the attention. I be like, girl, you better get it. And
I don't
be
ask
telling
for it though.
But that's the truth, because don't I be telling you, Toy, I gotta wear security on me? And I tell her, I say, Sheila, is this tonight that I'm gonna have to wear a security T-shirt or what? Are we doing security? So listen,
RJ, don't listen to her, because it don't be that bad.
Listen, I've heard about the adventures of Sheila and Chris. Let's be clear.
But let me tell you something. I always feel like, do I need security T-shirt on? So thanks.
Look at her trying to be modest and humble. Oh, that's so
Toya, you tell her. Toya know who I am.
Sheila, you can't help you adorable. So Anissa said, what happened to men preferring the pretty natural girl next door? From the amount of attention they get, you would think every woman has to be done up like BBLs, Kim Kardashian type.
If you ask real men, they don't want that. I know.
I don't want it at
we had
all.
a conversation with men, and they were like, "We don't want all of that. We want you to be you. That's what women think they want.
RJ, do you have a fan now? That's
Yeah, I think
Cedric's
so.
fan. That's from Cedric's fan club is Cook.
And
But
I-
RJ, that woman is still wandering around the airport. You wrong for that. Like she's still at the airport. Just running around.
Well, I want to respond to her question. Okay. So first of all, let me say this. We are all different. Each and every one of us are different. There are women who don't like to wear makeup.
We all look
There's
different
women-
on this
They
podcast.
don't
women
need
that
to wear
like to
makeup.
wear
Let's be
makeup.
clear.
There's women that like their hair long. There's women that like their hair short.
Mhm.
Do you, okay? I have always been a girl who loved the art of makeup, loved changing my hair. I've been a stage girl all my life. I've always said I was born for the stage. That's who I am. So I needed a man who loved all of that. I never wanted to be with a man who did not love that, because then you would agitate me and I would agitate you. And I'm not interested in an aggravating relationship. And so I don't like when people put people down because this is what they do. Listen, if you want to go natural, go natural. There are men who love natural, don't want any makeup, but then there's men who don't mind you doing it all up. Do you, and enjoy be confident in whatever you do to yourself, and don't allow someone else to come in and rip that side of you, because they can be, sometimes men can come in and it's a man's job to remove spots and wrinkles. But sometimes if a man does, especially if he's not, have a relationship with God, he can almost try to wipe your personality off of you, remove a character opposed to a spot or a wrinkle. He's trying to remove your character and your personality. And that's unfair. First of all, I'm never letting that happen. But there are women who don't know how to stop a man from doing that to them. And so you got to be okay with who you are.
And the bottom line is, folks, people come into your lives for reasons. I always tell people that. It's the law of attraction, whatever it may be. Like Galen said last Wednesday, sometimes we take a person, they short term, and we put them in the long term slot. That's on us. But folks, if you're insecure, you got to tighten it up in what makes you happy, not tighten it up in what a man or another person thinks. Because Christine wasn't created from somebody else's vision. This was me. This was all Christine deciding I was going to be couture. This wasn't out of, because I was wearing my hair pulled back, some khakis and a white shirt. Don't fool with that. That's where I came from. I was being assimilated. And I decided I didn't want to be assimilated. So folks, as we close out, I need everybody just to give me one word that you would tell somebody tonight about whether their inside is matching their outside. And I'm going to start with you, Roz, because you keep looking at me like I shouldn't start with you. That's the energy you give it off. So I'm coming at you. So Roz, what's up?
One word.
Mm-hmm.
Oreo.
What is it?
Oreo.
Oreo? Mm-hmm. Like eat Oreos?
No, just Oreo. You said one word?
Can you just
what was the question? Repeat the question.
I said just give a person one word in relation to their inside reflecting their outside. And
is it an Oreo? Is it an Oreo?
Be an Oreo?
Yeah.
Be an Oreo, which means
which are you? Are you?
What are you?
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. Okay, girl, don't leave nobody with no thought-provoking stuff. Be an Oreo. Okay.
What are you?
Repeat it again, Chris.
Okay, so
one word can't really
Oreo
for me. I don't know if one word would get it, but some people are trapped inside out.
Okay, I'm gonna say, give me just a statement phrase, a quote or a statement phrase that somebody could carry every day with them, as it relates to them living inside out. So does your inside match your outside? And so you're saying what? Live like an Oreo?
No, I'm saying
what
don't be
say?
one. Don't
be an Oreo.
No.
Okay. All right, RJ.
Always be your true, authentic self.
That's not one word.
I started it off with authenticity. I'm gonna end it with that because that's everything for me.
Yeah.
Okay. Toy.
I would say
One
Take
word.
all the time that you can to discover you. And then once you do, don't give up on you.
Okay, Sheila, what's up? Sheila, because Toy
Yeah,
just
RJ,
told
RJ
her.
stole my thing. It's just be your authentic self. It takes too much energy to be anything other than that. Just work on you.
So
Okay,
I
you
got to
got
go back to the one word. So
Oh, she's
Well,
changed it, Raj. She said a phrase. You can get your,
I mean,
get your phrase.
You want to
It's
change
fine.
one?
Phrase,
Go ahead.
Russ, you said don't be an Oreo. I'm with that. RJ and Sheila touched and agreed. They said authenticity.
okay.
And basically, Toy
That's
said
important.
discover yourself. Discover yourself. I'm okay with all of that. What Christine gonna say is stop lying to yourself. Look in the mirror. If your it's messed up, y'all fill in the blanks. If your SHIT is messed up on the inside, fix it. Nobody got time for this. We need to be out in the street meeting real people. The folks we meet online, the people we meet in the bars, the clubs, the laundromat, the grocery store. Don't pretend to be nobody. Just be you. When you see Christine, when you see Sheila, I kid you not, when we go out, we just us. We having fun. And I think people like to come around us because we're having fun.
That's that good energy. It's that good energy.
It is.
Right.
I mean, I literally had a client I was meeting with who said, I want to go out with you and Sheila.
Yeah.
Did you call me? So I called Sheila and I was like, Sheila, my client is upset because
Right.
we don't call her to go out with her.
And what did we do? We invited her. We said,
We
let's go.
invited her
Next
out.
time.
Sheila said,
Christine.
okay, well, come on out with us. So what I'm saying to
Christine.
you all, yeah,
There's one thing I gotta add to what you said
What you
about
gonna say?
everybody enters your life for a reason.
yeah.
My philosophy is everyone enters your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime.
Oh, for sure.
So there are three categories, right? You know what I mean?
It
'Cause
is
some people
more
are going to
than
be
that.
with you for the whole duration. Some people are just going to be with you for a very short duration, and some people are going to be with you for a chunk of it, right? And you
Are you
have to
trying to
be
tell
able
me
to discern.
something, RJ? We short term? Is that what's happening?
No, we long term, baby. We long term.
Okay, I was trying to see
We
what
lifetime.
Okay, Toy, Eric said, Toy, where do I send my offering? That was talking about when you were first coming.
I
He
got
don't try
Eric.
to be on the show. He's
I
still
got
trying to be on the
Eric.
show.
Love it.
Everybody, you got to watch Real Talk with the Men. That's Eric from Real Talk with Men. He's on
That's
the
my
same
guy,
podcast every
my
Thursday.
fellow cast
with
member,
RJ.
Eric, ladies and gentlemen.
I love you guys. All right, folks, we got to close this out. We are a little bit over, but everybody stuck in with us, and we appreciate that. So I'm going to say good night to everybody on here. Hold tight. I'll be right back. And as I close out the podcast tonight, I want to say to you guys, this is a deeper conversation. Of course, we couldn't cover it all tonight. But I want to say to you, everybody goes through a journey of discovering who they are. And you need to go on that journey. Because until you are, as my cast member said, your authentic self, until you go on that discovery, like Toy said, realizing who you are. Are you the makeup girl? Are you the natural girl? You got to be comfortable in your own skin. And if you don't think you're worthy of somebody opening the door for you, if you don't think you're worthy of somebody saying that you're pretty, if you don't think you're worthy than a McDonald's drive-through, nobody's ever going to give those things to you. You've got to give them to yourself first. And let me tell you something, your subconscious does attract people. Remember what Galen said. You need to watch last week's episode. I meet no one but me. And hopefully y'all meet more than y'all. Because, honey, right now, Christine trying to meet somebody other than herself. Because, honey, I think I'm adorable, but I'm looking for somebody that's hot and handsome, which is the opposite of me, which has outrageous confidence, right? But the point is, I have to project that in order to get that. Thanks again for watching us here on the 5 F's to Love Real Talk with the Ladies. Join us here next Tuesday, and you guys know we might have a special guest. You never know who's going to pop up on Real Talk with the Ladies. See you guys next week, and thank you for watching us here at the 5 F's to Love. Be sure to like, share, and follow us on all of our social media sites.
My name is Christine Burkett, the inventor of the 5 F's to Love. This is a compatibility app. It's an app that gives you an opportunity to rate words that start with the letter F in chronological order of importance to you, to help you find your one true love, your soulmate, and the person you're going to spend the rest of your life with. So after you've taken the time to rate your F's in chronological order, you send a link to the person, you just met, or the person you've been dating for quite some time. Or maybe it's the person you've been married to for 30 to 40 to 50 years. And then you compare your top 5 F's to find out what things you have in common and things that you may perhaps need to work on. This is taking a simplistic perspective on how to find your one true love, your soulmate, the person you're going to spend the rest of your life with. And thankfully,